Hi again, you guys. Before I do anything else, I want to thank everyone because I'm realizing I'm getting subscribers every day as well as some very endearing and very undeserved compliments. I don't know what to say. I really, honestly, all I wish is that I could give you guys some like more content a lot faster and in much higher quality. Please try to bear with me. I'm self-taught. I don't exactly have anyone teaching me how to play the cello, so I'm kind of still figuring everything out, and I am not learning as quickly as I'd like. But I promise that I'm working hard every single day. In fact, I wanted to show you guys. My friend has been gifting me with little motivators like this here, and if any fan of my channel knows how important this character is and his ideas and his philosophies are to me, but more importantly, anyone who actually viewed my stories knows how important that character is. I'm hoping you guys can see it. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Yep, that guy is Monkey D. Luffy. He's my favorite anime character, and I got a wall scroll of him, and I practice right in front of that. Like, yeah, this is where I sit, and I practice right in front of that. And every time I see that scintillating smile, it just makes me want to go harder. So I want you guys to know that I am working extremely hard every single day to make sure that in the near future I'll be able to bring you tons of content. In 2017, I have so many plans. There's more Disney in down the line, and there's also an anime that's about a kid who saved the world through love, and I couldn't help but be moved by it because it's actually to the point where every guy can enjoy it. But there's something incredibly profound about the manner in which this kid went about saving the world, and he's like my inspiration. In fact, I'm wearing him on my shirt right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there he is. Now, I'm not at all good enough to save the world yet, and I'm going to have to get way smarter, way stronger, way more talented, and if I'm going to have even an inkling of an effect. But I am trying, so please bear with me. Thank you for your support. I will keep going. Now that's been said, there are a lot of forces that work against me, and this is to be expected of anyone who tries to make good work in the world, because there is so much bad in the world, so much more than there is good, unfortunately. I am asking you guys to sign a petition to take down Colombia's leaders. They are corrupt and monstrous, and they need to be stopped before they don't do any more harm to any of the other students on the campus. I don't know how many of you guys have been viewing my story thus far, and I will admit that it is very long-winded, but I do have to give yet again another explanation for those of you who haven't seen this video, and those of you who I want to sign the petition. Please just bear with me. I swear I will be concise and as quick as possible. So in 2015, my best friend, my first love actually, she grew to believe that I had been raping her repeatedly throughout the entire time that I had known her at Columbia University, in times and in places that we'd never even been around each other. Like, it was quite devastating, to say the very least. She fell victim to an illness known as false memory syndrome. It basically replaces real memories, like the ones of us being extremely loving, and warps them as well as her personality to ones of real trauma. Like, she believes that that she has suffered all of these things, all of these terrible attacks, and even though none of it is true, basically it's the result of a whole bunch of suggestion on a very weak mind, and that suggestion was brought about primarily by her drug addiction, my own overly doting treatment of her. Trust me, if you see in any of the documents or any of the texts or any things that I've put in the description of this video and all the others, was overly doting with her. I basically did whatever she wanted like a little puppy, and it did come back to bite both of us. there's also the fact that during the time that we were on campus, Colombia's environment was very politically charged. Many of the women were complaining about the fact that Colombia's lack of action against sexual assault was a danger to them, and I completely support that. Unfortunately, it just ended up working in the other direction, destroying every guy that was on the campus, everyone who was accused of sexual assault, despite the degree of guilt anyway. There's also the fact, and there's texts to prove this, that my friend was complaining of a therapist that kept suggesting that there was that her mental issues, the ones that she was suffering with before her false memory syndrome, were the cause of her sexual difficulties, her sexual relationship with me. Again, I'm guessing this is all a part of the whole anti-sexual violence climate that was happening there, and it did a number on her mind. The moral thing to do would have been to let me submit a whole bunch of evidence that would prove to both Colombia and my best friend that our relationship was not at all abusive, but extremely loving. The right thing for Colombia to do would have been to allow me to help them to prove my innocence, so that we can prove to my friend, who legitimately suffered the backlash of tons of rapes by her best friend, so that we could bring an end to it. But that's not what happened. That's not at all what Colombia was concerned with. The only thing that they cared about was protecting their reputation. They assigned me a lawyer. I didn't have enough money to afford one for myself when this popped up on me by surprise, and that lawyer manipulated me into being completely silent, and unwilling to let me talk to anyone at the university for the entire 4 months of this agonizing procedure. He told me that they were going to take away my degree. They told me not to submit any evidence, not to submit anything. He told me that if I tried to even talk to any of my friends who were actually also my friends, that they would also take away my degree. And he also said that I was going to lose my degree if I even so much as tried to have a hearing, because if no one at Columbia would believe me, according to him. I had no experience with any judicial or any legal system at the time. All I could do was follow his word, and so I basically was forced to sign documents that would deny me the rights to a hearing and have me expelled. And also, I was unable to save my friend from what she was suffering. In other words, what all of this basically shows is that they were willing to let my best friend suffer with the memories of repeated rapes and expel me and brand me her rapist. Also, they wouldn't have to take the risk of upsetting her or her parents, and supposedly having another stain on their record of the long list of the women that supposedly were had their cases swept under the rug as well. I'm sorry. This actually infuriates me. What it shows me is that many of the feminists who were on the campus who were protesting against this initially were actually completely right about what they were about Colombia's actions when it comes to sexual assault, that they don't make any effort at all to find out what is just or what is right, or what is going to result in the greatest welfare for all of the parties involved. What they do is find the best way to hush everybody up and to dismiss everything as quickly as possible and make it go away. And all this just to protect money. People's lives mean less to them than money. And the worst part is that I'm surprised, and people keep telling me that I shouldn't be surprised, and this is how all businesses operate. And that is a crying shame, where we put capital over the very people that we're supposed to be serving, growing with, helping, letting them help us. Okay, anyway, trust me when I say that I know that these sexual assault cases are very complicated. I have watched and analyzed thoroughly every episode of Law & Order SVU. In fact, there's a Law & Order SVU episode about false memory syndrome. I believe I referenced it in the very first video, the introduction video of this playlist. Anyway, I also read tons of stuff about false memory syndrome and sexual assault and the new affirmative action laws and everything that has taken place. But again, none of that really matters if if the Columbia and other universities don't even make an attempt. And this is definitely what happened in my case, where it was clear. What I swear to you, if you look in the documents that I will provide in the description, it was clear that none of what this woman believed was true, and especially that I could ever harm her in any way. If you guys read anything, I am sure that you guys will believe me. They knew what the danger. They knew that none of this was real, and they knew what the dangers were to both me and the complainant, and they did not care at all. All they were worried about was themselves. If that attitude is what we enter any sexual assault cases, no matter how the laws change, no matter how the political climate changes, they will do whatever it is to protect themselves. If this comes at the expense of, I want you guys to know, like, this nearly drove me to suicide, and I mean the loneliness that ensued after when you're accused of rape, and absolutely every single person who runs as far away from you as possible because they don't want to be involved, not because they disbelieve you, just because they don't want to be around or associated with anyone who's accused of rape, because, well, that person's basically blacklisted. The loneliness is a killer. But I want you guys to try to understand that my friend is more the victim here than anyone else. I know rape victims. I or at least I think I do. And I know it sounds strange, but the fact of the matter is that I still do love my accuser. And when I say that I feel every moment that she suffers, I do suffer. I'm telling you the truth. That is what is happening. She believes that she is a rape victim, and there was no chance for me to help fix it. There was no chance we had all the tools to work with her parents, to work with her to fix her illness, and Columbia did absolutely nothing to do this, even though they are in no small part complicit in creating these memories in her mind. Their mistakes are indeed over a long period of time. Their selfishness and their greed from sweeping all these these rape cases under the rug is what caused this huge backlash against them. That's caused the very feminist environment that pervades the campus now. The thing is, this is just going to shift back and forth once enough men get accused like me. They're going to demand that more women's cases be ignored and dismissed, because many of them were, I don't even know. I've heard a lot of feminists say that these bitches are crazy. They're just overly emotional. They don't know what rape is. The definition of consent is too obscure, and that there is actually some validity to each and every one of those points. However, what I am really hoping is that we each find a middle ground between the people who are being accused of sexual assault and the people who are being sexually assaulted, because we all deserve to feel safe. However, there's no way that that's going to happen while Columbia's officials are in power, especially what was it? Dean Crom, Jerry Henry, and the President Bolger. I mean, this happened under his watch. I'm convinced, and you will be too if you read anything at all. that they do not care at all about their students, not in the slightest, not compared to losing a bit of money, not compared to losing any face or the reputation. They're not real leaders. Real leaders take responsibilities for their actions. Real leaders make the hard choices for themselves and sacrifice for the people who they are leading, because that's their job. Their job is to help to make everyone better, even if it means a few hits on themselves. But again, that's what it means to be a leader now has been perverted to make as much money to protect yourself as possible and make sure to maintain all of that. That guys, I'm sure you guys are seeing in the political climate now, America is, no, perhaps it always has been, a business. They are corrupt and evil, many of them at the top, and it is disturbing. They run our world. Do you believe that Columbia? I tried to protest this at Columbia, as many of the people who saw my videos know. I tried to go to the campus and post flyers, letting everybody know of the dangers of trusting any of these higher ups. They had me thrown in jail for 5 days. For trespassing is one thing. They had no right to ban me from the campus because they knew that I had not done anything wrong. They had only made that charge in order to save face with the complainant's parents, who genuinely believe that their daughter was a rape victim, and as she believes it. And two, they lied. I'm not even kidding. I wish I need to get one of the forms to prove this to you. This one I don't have. They lied, saying that I was threatening their officials with martial arts, and you can see in the letters because I have all the letters that I sent to all of the officials in the description. I did no such thing. I practiced martial arts in order to bring attention to me, so that people would be more aware of what was happening. In fact, more people were hitting me. It was part of what I was doing. People were allowed to hit me if in exchange for listening to my story or getting a bit of information. I would direct them to this YouTube channel. My point is, these guys are. This is not the first time that they have done this, and they are not going to stop. I am sure that they will thinking right now about ways that they can silence me, to put me in jail, kill me even. And you know what? Killing me is what it's going to take, because I really would, I have really prepared myself mentally for anything, because I do not want to ever see anyone suffer what I suffered or what my best friend suffered. I know that if we all work together, we can figure out a solution that is going to work within the school systems, the campus judicial systems, whatever. We do need, more than anything, to work more on the individual level, to try and understand ourselves and try to understand each other, so that we don't just blatantly cry rape when somebody when you have, I don't know, some issue with a guy, or that we don't just I don't know, take some girls drunken lack of consent for consent and having sex with her. And you trust me, there are gray areas here, but you know what I'm talking about, where a girl is blacked out, passed out, drunk, and a guy has sex with her. That is rape unequivocally. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And those are extreme cases, and there are ways, I'm sure there are ways that we can prove extreme cases if we all work together. Maybe we need to have more rape kits on the available to be taken on the campuses. Maybe we need more security surveillance around the campus in order to verify claims that are made in there. Maybe we need more student body involvement within each of the cases, like juries or something like that. I don't know what we need, but first it's going to come with understanding each other, loving each other. That's probably the way for everybody to grow, and us stopping those who are so bereft of love that they will hurt anybody if it means hanging on to a buck. those people are the Colombia's upper echelon, basically its leaders. We need to send a strong message. I am really hoping that you will help me take the first step. I'm just asking you for a signature on this petition. I will do the rest. They know, and I hope that you know that I love people and everyone way too much to let these kinds of things take place. Whatever Colombia does to me is going to be far less than whatever all the people in the world are going to do to me when I try to save the world. Handle issues that are much bigger than this. That I'm going to upset a lot of very powerful, very evil people. But I will deal with that. I will learn how to deal with that, and I will hopefully be able to, little by little, turn all that evil into good. Anyway, I don't want to pontificate as if I'm some sort of priest or superhero or something. I just want you guys to know that I am doing everything that I can, and that I will continue to do everything I can. But it is up to all of us. I don't work alone. Everything that I am and everything that I'm going to become is thanks to everyone around me who has supported me. So allow me to thank you. If not for the signing the petition, then just for the support. It's given me a lot of energy to keep going. It spurs me. So thank you. If, again, I am always accepting of any questions. I know how complicated my story is. If anyone has any questions at all, please call the number that I have put in the description. It's 201-730-5579. I would love to speak to anyone about this. Okay, I have to go and study now. That's all I have for you guys. But I wanted to say that I do love you. I know that's hard. It's very hard for a lot of you guys to understand why somebody, for somebody who doesn't know you to actually love you. But if the prerequisites for love are caring for your life and willing to do anything to protect it, then that I guess I do love you. So know that that's true, and go in peace and have a great day. Bye.